actually turn on the audience light.
The house light?
Okay, so we have more people here on stage than America.
Yeah.
Yeah, come closer if anyone wants
If you want. And today we also have our dramaturge, Mona, online. She would love to talk to you, engaging with you, and also just share a few words. Hello, Mona. Can you hear me?
Yes, hello audience members, and hello to the cast, and creative crew, and technical crew. Can you hear me?
Oh, that works.
Yeah, that works.
Yes, we can hear you.
I am on the microphone of the band, so everyone hears what I'm saying right now,
Yes.
including the audience.
Yes.
Okay, hi audience. The audience, that's awesome. That's awesome too. I just want to say hi to everyone, to Christy, to the cast, to Lisa, to Zoe, to Elise, to Van, to Jen, who's left? Oh, everyone. I left, the audience member doesn't know, but I left Seattle on the 12th of August, and I missed the opening. So I don't know what you saw, but if you can tell me what you saw, it's going to be great. And yeah, Tina, do you have a specific question for me?
Not right now.
Not right now.
Introduction.
Okay, great.
But yeah, just quick introduction. We'll put her on hold for now. Okay. Put you on hold.
Okay. So I think it's the time for the rest of us to give you an introduction. And I will start with myself. My name is Tina. I'm the Community Engagement Director of Youth Theater and also one of the drummer of the band. And
my Cantonese teacher.
first baby bird fly.
Yeah, I'm Zoe and I'm an actor. Yes.
I'm Yolan. I'm the composer of like around half the music and the band leader.
I'm Lisa. I'm one of the actors.
I'm Jen, one of the actors.
I'm Abigail. I'm also one of the actors.
I'm Van, also an actor.
I'm PQ. I do costume and a little bit assistant in directing. We're missing our director. Where's he?
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll go with this crew for now. And is there anything, the crew, anything you want to ask our audience?
What'd you
Any
think?
feedback?
What'd you think? No, it's like, I'm not fishing for compliments. I generally like.
Which one is your favorite?
And why?
Or we can say which are our favorites. I don't know if any of us are prepared for that though.
Hard question.
I have a favorite one each night. Like, it depends. Sometimes, like yesterday, I was sitting in the audience and watching. I really enjoyed it. It was so fun, and I shed a tear again in Afterlife. And today I was not watching until the last one, the Animal Picnic. So yeah, I really like that tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, I love Animal tonight. I think that everything is great. Anyone else like the Animal? Yeah. Fun?
I really liked the chalk performance because the form of that was just so unique. You know, with two actors kind of filling in for each other and the family, and you always knew who was speaking in what role and kind of where they were coming from, but it just kept you as an audience member following and on your toes. It kept you engaged in the story. It really was moving, so really well done for really all of them, but especially for Chalk. Thank you.
I can share a little bit. The shock was actually, for all the ones that I was in, it was one of the, like, very challenging in the creation process, with two actors playing like the same person but different, and all of the other people in the family. I think that's the one that we started, and Mona, our dramaturg, spent a lot of time with us trying to figure out how to play that. And I think that's one of those that when we began, we had no idea how it was going to be like. But I think Ivelisse and I, and with the director's choices, explored a lot of forms, and then really together, came together and landed in the form right now. And I felt that a lot of times, like Ivelisse and I, before we joined the stage, we hold hands and like breathe together, and that kind of was the moment behind the curtain where we become Alegrias together. So that's kind of the background of it. Yeah.
Do you have something to add, Mona?
Oh, that's Zoe, right?
Lisa.
Yeah, I know that Lisa was talking, and yeah, I think like all the text, I think we were talking about what's the text that the audience liked the most, and then Lisa interfered. I think that Chalk has a special place in my heart too, because there was this margin of exploration, there was this huge margin of exploration within the text. How you can work on the chalk as a metaphor, what does it say in terms of memory, and in terms of erasing memory, and in terms of making trauma present but deal with it in a way that kind of offers a margin of healing, and at the same time we are still remembering that these issues are not solved yet. So yeah, I think there was a lot to explore as a dramaturg within the rehearsal space with Christy and with Lisa and Ivelisse, and I think we came with lots of interesting things that we let go of, and then we moved to something else. Yeah, I'm gonna be short. I have to be short. There are other ideas regarding other plays. The process as a whole was a revelation for all of us, because the text was not only a text on the stage. The text was much more.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question to you? Like,
To me, okay.
yes, I'm so curious because every night, the live band and all the music, to me, it felt like really, put all the short plays that are so different in style and concept and everything together, like really thread everything through. So I'm just curious your, process of creating that.
It was really chaotic. Well, it was mostly the theme song. We just call it In Between, but that song I just very randomly came up with one day and was like, this would be pretty, and then for each play basically wrote different lyrics. I guess for the Chinese lyrics were not written by me. The Chinese lyrics were written by Ernst and RB, the two playwrights, who I don't know where they are, but they should be here. And so I think that was a really nice starting point, foundation to have, and then I was able to kind of reincorporate some of those themes, I guess, again, into the plays and into sound effects that we might use with the instruments and stuff. So during Afterlife, the kalimba is tuned to the same key as the guitar was playing in, and I just kind of play that theme. And then we have the more upbeat part where they're going through TSA and stuff. It's not an upbeat thing, but everyone is playing in that same key and kind of the same melody a little bit, or improvising on the melody. And also in Baby Bird Flies, when Ihan is playing the guzheng, the big wooden stringed instrument over there, it's also, I was please play these same notes that we were playing in the theme song. So yeah, a lot of going from that one foundation, and then a lot of the music, the other music, especially Niche and stuff, was from the movement director Olga and the director Christy. They like suggested me things, and I was like, you know what? I'm running out of time to write music, and these are classical pieces I can play, so let's just play the actual pieces. So we like changed them up a little bit, but mostly we're just playing existing pieces. So yeah, that was a very long answer.
That's great.
I'm curious, this is me being selfish, but does anyone have favorite pieces or songs or music? Anyone, not just anyone.
I know Sonata is not by you.
It's very pretty though.
Yeah, I think when you make the like acoustic like version, I think it's really beautiful. And I think all the ones threading through all the plays also is like easy going to listen to while you convey all the information inside the lyrics. I like that part a lot.
Yeah. Words. Props to the band for doing a beautiful job on Sonata and to all of the songs, but we all love Sonata. So, Josh.
Yihan was there, I don't know where she is.
The band is here.
Oh, hi, there they are.
Yeah.
That's the band.
Yay! I love Buddha Hall. The music is very beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
We spent quite a while picking up that music.
It's a challenging one.
Because that was one of the first pieces that I've written for this project, and also just one of the longest processes where I was like, I'm not really sure what I'm doing, and also my reading of Mandarin is not very good, so I was reading the English translation version of the script, and just like, it was kind of a chicken and egg cycle of do we do the movement first or do we do the music first? And so I was like, you know what, let's just write some music based on the stage directions for that entire like long bit of movement. And then it was just a process of going back and forth with Olga and Christy and being like, okay, let's add something here, can we make this sound more like a monster? Can we add like a 4-bar thing here so we can add more movement kind of thing? And it was just a lot of back and forth, a lot of communication happening.
There it is when the bullets are fighting and then the gujang's like, you know, like very, you know, abstract, and then at the same time. It's very.
It was unintentional actually, because originally we had a different segment for the bullets, and it was me doing something on the viola, but that like just it wasn't gonna get picked up on the sound because it was just a really soft thing. And so I was like, oh shoot, they also want me to add something, so let's just give Yihan this like tremolo like thing on the guzheng. And originally the bullets were supposed to have after that, and I was just like, you guys need to use sound effects, I give up, whatever. But I think they ended up using that like section for the bullets, and I was like, that fits. That was not intentional, but it fits. So happy accents.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a question for each of the actors. Which is the hardest play or role for you to play?
It's very challenging. I think maybe Popo. The first one in Baby Fly. Because I have like, how many roles have I? 3 or 4 roles, like the big roles. For each, I know it's a lot of like words, but I don't think it's very straightforward for me. But for Popo, because I still remember in the very first rehearsal of Baby Fly when me, Van was meeting with the director Christy and dramaturg Mona. Mona was saying this piece is very special because it's delicate. Because you two, us two, we don't actually look at each other directly. We actually look at the audience. And audience is like a mirror in between our conversation. So we give our thing to the audience. The audience reaction will reflect to Peter, and then Peter will give it back and reflect to us. So it's a piece that the audience is critical. And it's also very subtle, that if I didn't pass this thing to you, it won't have a reflection back. Like it won't really ring a bell or something like that. And also as Popo, it's my first time playing someone who is an elderly. So I'm very afraid I would do it like in a stereotypical way. So I'm trying not to, but I guess for someone it will look a little bit stereotypical, but I tried, and I also learned some like Cantonese. I need to add some Cantonese accent while I don't know how to speak Cantonese. But so yeah, I was like, since I was like recording something for me, and I was like, oh, I learned how to say that, and also there was one Cantonese in the middle where I'm like murmuring this like little kid. But yeah, that's the difficult one for me, I guess.
Well, I have a follow-up question. Sorry. Can you actually see the audience when you're?
I can.
Okay.
I can.
Like we can't, but
Yeah.
I cannot.
It's, as long as I stay like close enough and I like really look, I can see them. Yeah.
I think I mentioned before like chalk, but I think the even though coming in it was the most difficult one before we started rehearsal after got the role, but it's actually the first one that came together. It was once it clicked, once me and Evelise kind of had this thing going where we were in sync, it was actually the whole thing was in shape within like the weekend, like a whole 3 days where we rehearsed and the form is there. So we went from not knowing how it's gonna be at all to like, okay, this is it. That's quite of a magical like process. Yeah.
Well, really hard to say because I feel each piece has the challenging part for me. I'm gonna say the most challenging part, just like compared to other roles that I play. I'm gonna go with donkey in each, because I had no idea what donkey is, how donkey sound. And you know, you have to play donkey grandpa. What is that like? I had no idea. I know how to play grandma. How to play grandpa is challenging, but it's okay. But if you need to play donkey grandpa, what is that like? Okay, so I'm gonna say that's the most challenging part. Yeah, and I felt when I play leopard in animal, I'm gonna say I have very difficult beginning to begin with this role because I know Elizabeth is very smart, but you also need to get that part into the animal spoon, you know. So you have to chime in the human part into the animal's elements, you know. So that's also another part that's challenging. But I also be very thankful for our costume designer, because if the costume is not there, I probably need to have, oh my god, so many imagination to, you know, create this role. But now I'm like, okay, I have that. So I just like, I can play with that and that would be good. Yeah.
For me, it's definitely Man-Made Afterlife. It's a very emotional play, so every performance is very different. It also, like, there's, like, the character went on an entire journey in that short amount of time from, it's just a lot of different emotions, and it's kind of hard to, I'm still working on it every day, to every performance, to see if I can jump from one emotion to the other. And I think similar to Baby Bird Fly, at least the first part of the story, I'm facing the audience, and sometimes I can like really see the audience. So it's, I just have to pay extra attention to focusing on my partner, my scene partner, what Anna is saying, and what I am saying, and at the same time share this entire experience with the audience, and I think that is challenging. Yeah.
Yep. For me, I think the Chai Sonata is the most challenging part for me. Obviously, that's the longest rehearsal that I had for all the roles that I had. Like Baby Bird Fly, it's challenging, but we don't have that many of rehearsals. Animal is everybody here, but I especially had so much time with Jen, with Olga, our choreographer, and Christy to grind this piece, because one thing is that it has a lot of repetition, but each repetition, each round is different, subtly. And the other thing is that this piece is very sad. By looking at the text itself, is very sad, but the characters in this scene is very optimistic. Like Chai and Array both are quite optimistic and have some playful conversation, like the coin, like the poop, like all this. It's just hard. Like we are trying to be optimistic, be fun, while deliver the sad piece. That's hard.
Can I ask the audience something? This is something I know Christy wanted to ask, but she's not here, so I'm going to ask on her behalf. How does it feel to like jump from one play to the other? Like, does everything connect, and does it, like, with each transition, does it feel like you can change, I guess, understand each play like easily, smoothly, even though each play is in such a different style from the last?
I really like the transition from the first two, where I think Coco pats the entering character on the back. I felt like because of that, those two plays felt like very connected. For the other plays, I think it was still smooth, but like that one in particular stood out to me because there was like interaction between characters.
I especially appreciated ending each of the right before intermission and also right before ending with the animal pieces. It was really different and really memorable. It's something to talk about as you walk through the door. The song was amazing. It was really great, and also it was fun and also really clear on the message. I felt like it was really clear. So it just gives a really good conversation topic as you're going to the restroom, getting some water, and just walking out the door. So I love that.
I really loved that the music was really you were singing about each of the plays in between, but they all had a similar melody, so that they were all really tied together in this really long story. There are different facets of different people's lives, but yet they're connected through this one line of story, and throughout the play, the music really tied everything together.
Thank you. I'm gonna plus something on, and I feel the exactly the same way, and I think Milan, the band has been doing a great job. Like for each different theme, we add a little bit of the elements to that for the in-between song. For the first one, Iha was playing a little bit of guzheng, add on to the transition song, and for the Buddha Hall, we add a little bit of the wooden block at the end of the song, and we just try, and the animal, of course, is just all funny and cheerful. We just wanna add a little bit to that to build a little bit connection in between the plays, and which I really love.
Yep.
Shout out to Tina and Josh, because the drum sounds different. It's a slight different for every transition, but it feels a lot different from one to another. So shout out to Tina and Josh.
Tina, Josh. Yeah, and I definitely, each transition song I think is a collaborative effort of I was like, okay, I wrote the bass song, whatever. But with what elements we wanted to and could add, I think it was very much all of us in the band were like, what can we do here for each play that was related to Chinese things, we used the guzheng sound, and every time I was like, we experimented with a lot of things, but because of the tuning of the guzheng, we ended up sticking to something pretty simple. But it was a lot of me working with Yihan to be like, can we try this? Can we try this? That doesn't sound good. Actually, let's go back to the other one, that kind of thing. And I didn't know about the wood block. I have never noticed that. I didn't know you guys added that. So wow. Yeah, and with Itch, because all of the music there is classical, we were like, let's add some strings in, and then I kind of gave EE like idea of like, because we're playing waltzes, because we're playing kind of classical pieces, try this like pattern, this thing on the piano that kind of sounds kind of like it's almost going to start a classical piece, but obviously we're still playing this like poppy song, so yeah, a lot of collaboration.
I have a difficult question for the audience. Which piece do you feel you understand the least? Like it's hard for you to understand, or it's hard for you to get immersed into?
Are you expecting an answer?
Yeah.
I very like the movement piece in Buddha Hall, and I have a question for like how you find the movies and how you development and how you like connect with the story.
Answering the question.
Yeah.
Is that your answer? Is that your final answer?
Answer Buddha Hall.
要我用中文再说一遍吗？
No, I asked a question. Are you answering?
I know. Because I love it, and sometimes
I'll say also Buddha Hall kind of perplexed me the most. I think it was because it was such a physically evocative piece. It sort of stood in contrast with a lot of other pieces. It felt like they were more dialogue heavy or more, emotionally driven. This one really asked the audience to really go there with the character. But even at the end, I was like, well, what does Buddha Hall really reference? I mean, it is the Buddha, but I kind of wanted the Buddha to talk back, to be that friend that was mentioned at the beginning. And when the Buddha didn't talk back, I was like, oh, so what does that mean? I was trying to absorb, really resonate with the message, and I think I'll keep thinking about that one and see what it can bring up for me. But it's a really interesting piece with all the elements combined in one.
Is the playwright of Buddha Hall still here?
I think so.
So you want to like answer that? She's our sound designer too. So.
Yes.
Yeah, while she's walking.
No pressure.
I also feel Buddha Hall is a more like poetic one. Like it has some vague message it wants to convey, while there are not like less lines but more movement in this piece.
What was the question?
Just sit.
I feel like if you want to share kind of your
intention when you play this piece.
Or because you described the scene, but we obviously portrayed those with movement and dance. And so, like, how did you think watching the movement, how does that add to your piece and your message? I think that I'm curious about that too.
Yeah, actually, this play was adapted from my short essay, and I wrote this essay in COVID-19 continued at that time. So, I adapted to a play. What I want to express in this play is actually the story based on my experience, and I always wanted to escape to my hometown. I want to go to a place to find a kind of freedom. Yeah, but one day I suddenly realized my hometown in my memory is changed. It's not like I remember before. Too many things changed. Family, the building, and the culture.
and so many things. And that made me feel I'm a stranger to my hometown. And I don't know, it seems I ask this to, how to say, just get my freedom. But I, like the one girl said, I don't know where to go now. It's like a complicated feeling. So this story is it's not a narrative story, but it's more like to express a feeling, emotion. Yeah, and I really like the movement, the director. She just designed, and also the journey part. Actually, I'm more focused on a film, not play, and it's my first time to write a play, stage play. Yeah, and that part, the journey part, design is made me feel, oh wow, it surprised me. Yeah, and it's very different from film. Yeah.
I think what you said about the, what you said about the, like, being a stranger to your own home, because you have that poem at the beginning of the play, which is, like, it's very well known, if I'm not mistaken, it's very well known about, like, coming home and then, like, finding that you're a stranger and, like, finding that the kids don't know who you are, kind of thing. And also Anna has this really long monologue in Afterlife that is very similar, in, like, there's no coming home. And I think a lot of, like, I'm not speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for a lot of people here, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but like a lot of people here resonate with that because they immigrated like from their hometown to the US, to Seattle, and then in going back it kind of feels like, but that's not my home anymore because things have changed there too, but then the US isn't my home either because I'm not from here obviously, so yeah.
Yeah.
In between, the feeling
Exactly.
In between.
I feel like this also resonates with one of the pre-show songs, which is I think the American Dream. Don't ask me where I'm from because I don't know what to say, and I'm like a stranger in my hometown. And I feel like for Buddha Hole actually, my friend told me the similar feeling that it may convey a kind of vague message because they're lesser narrative than other plays. So it's the major. I think the major part is the journey, and for some people it may feel hard to understand the clear message. But speaking for myself personally, I feel like the theme is super clear for the first line. Zoe was like the poem. 少小离家老大回. That poem is exactly the theme of
what's happening
in Buddha Hole. I feel like Buddha Hole may be the one, but speaking from the audience perspective, although I'm one of the band, I'm watching the whole show from the back. And I feel like Buddha Hole may be maybe the most one that I feel most connected to, because it tells exactly what I experienced.
Very quick question for the playwriter of Buddha Hole. Was there really a Buddha Hole there in your hometown, or it's more like a metaphor, like symbolic icon, like you're trying to use that for a cultural?
Actually, there's no Buddha Hole in my hometown. I bet it. And but my hometown is actually a small town. It's not a big city. Yeah.
But why use that Buddha Hole as that metaphor to?
It's hard to say because just I like writing poem. I like poem. Yeah. So something just for me like instinct. I just just there's I don't know I don't know why there's Buddha Hole in my mind, but. It's like a connection, like also like a symbol to. It's like how it connect my feeling to my hometown. It's a building, it can be Buddha Hall and or other buildings. Buddha Hall, how to say, yeah, it means many things. Your wishes, your yeah, just your wishes. Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah.
Actually, I think Buddha Hall is very symbolic in a lot of Chinese areas. So I don't have Buddha Hall in my hometown where I grew up, but in my grandma's, where they're living in the village, they have Buddha Hall everywhere, and it's kind of a habit of, just like what the play showed, they put their wishes on the Buddha Hall, like hope get good life, have good children and all that. Almost, it's a routine. It's like a routine, and it's very symbolic. I think, from my understanding, is because when China is building a lot of like new town, new city, it's not like the Buddha Hall in the village, right? Like you see tall buildings and like the videos in Shanghai, and a lot of small towns were converted into that kind of big city modern life. And I think the play just exactly shows what actually happened. Things got, the old town was not there anymore. It's just new buildings.
I just want to say I really, really loved Buddha Hall. I think it was beautiful. I think that all of the emotions, they said so much. And I think my favorite scene was Zoe climbing and becoming the shadow of the Buddha. And I thought that was like so beautiful and so well done. I think for me, what I think connected also was this like idea of not just like immigration, but also like this gender aspect of like leaving home, and I'm still processing a lot of things, but I think it was just like so like musical in all the music movements as well. I really enjoyed
Ensemble. Yeah. I just really enjoyed that we're using like so many ensembles through our play, and sometimes it can be like a real person there, and sometimes it's a wind, the rain is the monsters, can be metaphor or real person, everything. The flowless of it.
Every time we did the rehearsal, we have like the sweaty underwear each time, so you know, that's how much effort we put in.
One question for costume designers. Is there particular like any costume set that's like particular hard for designing? For both of you, the question.
I think for me particular, it's gonna be Afterlife, because in my sketch, my original idea, Anna gonna be more much more colorful than what she looks like right now. But when I put together the look, Lisa obviously not. She looks so young. It's wearing that it just not look like Anna at all. But because we like the hat movement, the bucket hat she passed to Mei. That's the part we want to have some like Anna's in heritage or heirloom or anything like passed down to her granddaughter, and so we want to make a really colorful hat. So the more like I don't know, simple color for her costume, her outfit, gonna add it a little bit, but it just didn't realize as planned by Xiaoyan. I think I'm not gonna speak for her. What? For you to design. Okay, I'm gonna speak for her. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be the animal party. Yes? The animal picnic, the last one. Because we did spend a lot of time to like finding the traits of the animal and learning their habits, like what their body language are, or like, and we even thought about Mona has brought up a puppet idea before, because these animals, they're like in different sizes, and the proportion was in the consideration at first, but later, yeah, well, we tried to do a puppet for Zoe, for Martin at the moment, but later when Zoe trying to embody the character Martin with a frog, she's so funny. we can do that.
I mean, you're not completely wrong with proportions. You did cast the smallest actors.
You just played it.
Anything else to add? And I just want to shout out to the t-shirt. I really love the baby bird fly t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the script, there is like plenty of ideas suggested by the playwright. And I think our costume designers pick the
Follow the trend.
best
Yeah,
one.
it was timely.
Yeah.
Anyone notice of the slogan on the t-shirt?
The T-shirt.
Yes.
Cannot.
Yeah. It's actually handmade by, yeah,
Oh,
fabulous costume designer. Like, there wasn't a t-shirt during our most rehearsal, and until one day I was shown, hey, you need to put on this. I said, what? Where did you get this in the first place?
Oh, yeah. The original idea was gonna be
Demonstration related.
Yeah, it's more probably BML or Smash the Patriarch.
Smash the Patriarch. Yeah.
I think we are almost about time.
Yeah.
Any last questions?
Burning question.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, it's not a question, or maybe it's an answer from like the first question. I really loved Itch as well. I thought, sorry, what was your name? Lisa.
Mid-master horse.
The way you take up space on stage is just like so fun, and I think it was really beautiful how it wasn't in English, and we just get to just kind of like get entranced in the musicality of all of it, and all three of you were just so brilliant in acting out all of these different characters, and it was just really, really fun to watch. Even if I'm not like looking at the screen, figuring out what's happening, you can still like really tell what's happening, and I thought it was really good. Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I think we are about time. And thank you so much for coming. And share experience on social media if you like. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming.
If you have anything you're too scared to tell us to our faces, you can put it in the questionnaire.
Yes, we love your feedback. Thank you so much again.
Yes.